What if you could have the same level of success as the people that you look up to? Because the real secret to accomplishing more with your life is not having breakdowns disappear. It's about learning how to navigate through them. Now, before I get into it, I need to share with you what people call the emotional cycle of change. Whenever you're trying to accomplish something new or you're working through something that's challenging, you are actually going through this cycle. It's like a human phenomenon. And where most people fall down is what they call the valley of despair. When you start out on a new goal, you start in what's called uninformed optimism. And this is the stage in life where you basically don't know what you don't know, and so you just are trying to learn to do something for the first time. You're trying to start the business, you're trying to get your first sale. And you've heard from productivity gurus or entrepreneurs that, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so easy. It's gonna be really great. It's like the best thing ever. There's not gonna be a single bump in the road. You actually start working towards that goal, which is amazing, phenomenal. You start to see some results, maybe, but you also start to see the challenges of it, right? Oh my gosh, I need to post on social media all the time, or I need to reach out to people. I need to learn about sales and marketing and product and all of this whole new wealth of knowledge. And you start to think to yourself, I don't think this was quite as easy as I thought it was going to be. But you keep going a little bit further. You haven't completely given up yet. But then it strikes. When people are running a marathon, there's something that happens around the 20-mile marker. They hit something called the wall. This is where it basically begins to feel for the person like finishing this race is not possible. Their body won't have anything left to give. In the emotional cycle of change, this is called the valley of despair. After the valley of despair, people continue on, they keep going, and they finish the race. Getting into informed optimism, right? Because they've now learned the skills that they didn't know that they needed, but now they've learned those skills, and then they've begun to improve, and start getting more results and more results and more results, and soon enough, they've ridden along the pathway to success. So many people fall off right there in the valley of despair. We have to come to terms with where we're at. Breakdowns actually happen when multiple pieces aren't working. We're on a demolition crew to rebuild something, but we knock down the wrong house, and then the person comes around, hey, I thought you were gonna renovate. They're like, oh yeah, wrong house. This is not working the way I want it to. The breakdown effect comes into play. When people get stopped in their endeavors, they usually go down a path of trying to figure out, well, why am I stopped? What emotionally is getting in the way of me being able to accomplish these things? This is the breakdown effect. So you're in the valley of despair, and instead of just continuing on through the challenges, taking the appropriate necessary actions, we actually stop. Discovering the secrets is just a smokescreen to the truth. And if you've been following the channel for a little bit now, you'll know that my motto is that action ends suffering. The same is true for a breakdown in the valley of despair. The other pathway that people take is actually a new opportunity. So they see some other like shiny thing. They're like, oh, I totally can do that. That doesn't look like it has any of the issues that I'm facing over here in my YouTube channel. I'll just go over there and start writing a book. And that's when they basically go through the whole cycle again of uninformed optimism, uninformed pessimism, and then they hit the valley of despair again. And then there's the third pathway. And this pathway doesn't concern itself with the whys of the problem or freeing up emotional blockages, because your desired outcome actually only has one question. Are you willing to take the necessary action to get the outcome? In the sales industry, there's something called a sales slump, right? So a salesperson, they're working and they're taking calls, and then they don't close any deals for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And this is a sales slump. And if they were, gonna fall victim to the breakdown effect,
They might just quit sales altogether, move on to another thing because it feels so deep, that like pain, like this is never going to end. But really what they need to do is connect with more people, be looking at their calls, be doing sales calls reviews, writing down improvements that they can make on their calls, testing out those improvements on the calls. If you want to start getting more clients for your business, then the action isn't some crazy marketing funnel. It's actually very simply just connecting with more people that have a problem that you can solve. If you're trying to make a YouTube channel and you're having trouble coming up with ideas, it's actually probably not because you don't have ideas or don't know what they should be. It's probably because you haven't taken the time to sit down with a pen and paper and take 30 minutes and write out some ideas and choose one. The action is writing. The action is connection in the case of a business. This is how to overcome a sales slump, and it's how to overcome the valley of despair, is by taking action towards that same goal without giving up, without falling victim to, oh, why am I feeling this way? Or, oh, there's this new shiny other plan that I could do over here. The reality is, when you've come to a breakdown in your life, you want to avoid pondering on and analyzing everything that's gone wrong so far. And you want to get into a little bit of action. You want to stop stopping, because you've already spent so much energy building up this momentum. And even though there's some parts of the train that are falling apart and things aren't going exactly as planned, and there are a lot more challenges, a lot more roadblocks than you anticipated, the best pathway forward is to stay on the path, is to do the daily, weekly, and monthly rituals that allow you to maintain your energy, to keep going. Take a bath, relax. It's okay to take a day, but you want to get back into action as fast as possible. And if you're thinking about moving to a new project or something like that, I would take a second, because all of the energy that you spent trying to learn that first task, that first skill set, it's going to take all that energy again to learn that secondary skill set. And you're going to come up at some point against those same challenges, the same thoughts of, I can't do this, I'm going to give up, it's all over from here. A great friend of mine, Brad, he had this saying that he told me when we first met. He shared this with me. He said, you're only one promise away to yourself from anything that you want in life. Imagine if you were committed to growing your YouTube channel, and you knew that the action that you needed to take was post at least one video a day or one video a week. If you were to do that, continuing on, and you kept that promise to yourself, you would have the outcomes that you want in life. Most people just get caught up and end in the breakdown effect, and they give up on their promises, but not you. My adventurers, I was thinking that'd be fun. Keep committed to that promise that you made to yourself. Keep taking action towards that goal to be a legend, a creator, an entrepreneur, an artist. And if you feel like you're overwhelmed and you have a lot of things on your plate that you want to accomplish, then I would definitely suggest watching this video here for the two-step process on, or maybe it's like down here, I don't know. Watch the two-step process on how to get out of overwhelm and to get committed to a goal. Go ahead, spam in the comments on what you're committed to in your life. I would love to follow along in your journey. So go ahead, like this video, subscribe, do all that action, and I'll see you in the next one.